Hi, I'm Glenn,
And I'm Mark.
and welcome to another episode of Masonic Unity,
The Right Stuff.
So Mark, we're back here at the historic Trenton Masonic Temple at the Museum of Masonic Culture at 100 Barrack Street in Trenton, New Jersey. And we're here on the
Second floor.
So Mark, we together have been through a lot of different Masonic organizations, and we have been leaders in them. I thought it would be good for us to talk a little bit about some of our experiences, because as leaders, I firmly believe that we have to mentor those men and youth that are following us.
Well, I think it's interesting. You went right into the leadership part where actually, no, first we were members.
Well, yes,
And
very
then
true.
we really became followers. And then as we moved up that ladder of authority, servant leadership.
Yes.
Which is a key thing promoted by many of our past grandmasters and by you and I also talking about you have to serve
Without
your
a doubt.
brothers and show them
Yep.
what you're doing. So I think that's a key thing, that when people are preparing to be in the East, you know, there are people with the goals of being the worshipful master, in charge of a lodge, or in charge of a York Rite body or something along those lines. And they really need to prepare for it.
I can tell you that preparation for time before, whether it's months or years, just to get yourself in the right mindset, to get yourself ready, that preparation is critical.
So what are some of the key things that you've done in those times when you knew you were going to be in charge of a lodge or one of the bodies or one of the subordinate groups or something? When you're sitting there going, wow, someday I may be in charge of these guys. And you want to you want to do your best. You want to be professional about it.
Right.
Is there something that really comes to your mind that you've done?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I'd say that first off, you have to understand your subject. You have to be a subject expert. So if it's the case of the lodge, you have to know everything about the lodge. You have to learn about it. I mean, it doesn't happen right away. You learn over time. You know, you have to learn about the ritual. You have to learn about what the purpose of the lodge is. You have to learn about the people. You have to learn about where's the shutoff switch for the water when there's a leak in the bathroom. You know, there's so many things you have to learn about the lodge. You have to understand about the people in the lodge, about the brothers in the lodge.
And their skills.
Exactly.
And their talents.
Skill
and part
sets.
of what is considered their part of their ministry and what they bring to the table.
Exactly.
One thing I haven't heard you mention yet that I find really important is traditions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, when you have a group that has a clam bake, you know, this special weekend, or a picnic, or a Philo does this with their roll call dinners.
Yep.
Very big part of their life as a lodge.
Yeah.
You have to incorporate that. So far I'm hearing you have the administrative side.
Right.
Where's the shut-off valve?
Right.
Very important.
Right. The traditions.
The traditions.
Yep.
The brethren.
Yep.
What are they coming about?
Yep.
One of the things I did when I was running for a couple of the York Rite offices is come up with a calendar.
Yep. Oh, so important.
And I lay out 365 lines on an Excel spreadsheet.
Yep.
And I put down dates that I know are forbidden to do anything.
No fly zones.
No fly zones. A family, birthdays, anniversaries, stuff like that. Then you start including, all right, well, our chapter, our council, our commandery has to meet these days.
Right.
Plug them in. Then, well, you've got Grand Lodge events that you really need to support.
Yep.
So putting those in.
Yep.
And then finding new things, new ways of trying, and be willing to make a mistake.
Yeah, that's
a gamble.
That's a
That's
very
a big
important thing. Is you have to be willing to try some new things and not be afraid to fail.
And what a concept, and
that's
what a
hard.
major concept as we're developing male leadership.
Yeah.
You know, in work, you don't get a chance to fail.
Right. Right.
You know, there's a very thin area where you can make a mistake and not lose your job for it. But here you're doing something thinking, all right, we're going to have a past master's breakfast.
Right.
How do I make this a success?
Right.
Or, you know, what happens if, you know, I give it to somebody and they fall through?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's my brother. I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to discourage him from doing things.
Right.
And I think that's part of taking on the mantle of leadership is I should have known, you know, as a new officer, as a newly married officer with a very busy job, I probably shouldn't put him in charge of the breakfast or the dinner. And giving him a chance to breathe doing other things.
Right.
And find someone else who might be that good match. In church camps, it was important that there were people who walked up to me and they're like, I want to be your go-to guy. I don't need to be in charge. I don't need to be seen in front of everybody. Well, when someone needs something, I want to be that guy that they come to. And when he volunteered for that and I was able to use him to that ability, fulfilled his needs, he loved that. So it's a whole bunch of things, you know, between balancing a calendar, your personal and your Masonic, you know, the membership that you have and the officers that you have, and how far are they really committed to it?
I think one thing also we need to think about is what are the goals that you want to achieve?
Okay.
And B, what's the legacy that you want to leave? You know, when you step down, what do you want people to have been to remember you for in relation to that organization?
So it is part of that ego that we all try to downplay or do away with, but
it's ego, but it's also how can I move the lodge forward?
There's something that a new way of doing things, a new way of seeing things. One of the legacies that means a lot to me in Hightstown Apollo is when I was coming up through the line, the 3 stations all had gavels. And my thought was, no, only the East should have the gavel. You know, we should have a stanchion or something to knock down. And they switched over, and that's going back 25 years, and they're still doing that.
That's
so
great.
To me, it feels like I made a change. Small change. But to me, it was part of that legacy. But it is moving the lodge forward. You know, what do most people who become Worshipful Master want? To survive the year.
Sadly, I see so much of that as a secretary. I see brothers who have left the East and you don't see them again because...
Why do you think you don't see them again?
I think it's because, A, they feel burned out.
Okay.
Because they haven't planned it well enough, or because the work that they've done, maybe they don't feel like has been responded to enough.
Okay.
Or they're just tired. I see that a lot. And I think that's something that we need to teach, how to deal with burnout, how to deal with what happens beyond
that.
You know, I think that's really important because when we learn, we had people mentoring us.
Right.
When we started, we had people mentoring us. As we moved up, we had mentoring. As Worshipful Master, we need to have mentors as well. So we as senior leaders need to mentor the backwards and forwards. You know, to make sure that those men that are in the East of whatever organization are gonna understand what they need to do and what they do beyond.
But Masonic burnout is a real thing that
It
people really don't
is.
talk about.
We actually talk about that a lot at the mentoring program.
Good.
And you know, how do you deal with the Masonic burnout? So I'm giving a plug to the mentoring program. make sure you go and get involved there. Yeah, I think that's really important.
Because it's one thing bringing in these men and then giving them this leadership, this opportunity.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they're either just feeling burnt, taken advantage of, never appreciated, not respected. You know, all those key things. Yeah. And you're a vital part of that body that has decades left to give and to give back.
Exactly. So we actually talk in the mentoring program about if you feel burned out, what else can you do? What can you try that's different? You know, is there something that you can work on that's different, that's going to give you revitalization?
Well, and invigorate that passion you felt when you first joined.
Because we all joined with so much vigor and passion. So I think that's positive.
So it's kind of turning that around. But these are all things you have to think about because as you're going up and you're becoming the worshipful master, you're dealing with guys who are burned out. Yeah. You're dealing with guys who are trying to balance their own calendar. Yeah. And yet you want me to balance your calendar out with these events. So there's a lot to work on. And we're going to have more videos about things to prepare for as you become a presiding officer coming up.
Make sure that you have the people around you that you can work with. You know, make sure that you have officers, make sure you have committees, make sure that you have mentors, make sure that you have people that you can work with and that you can trust to get your, in industry we call them BHAGs. Have you ever heard of a BHAG?
Okay.
It's called a big, hairy, audacious goal. So some people and some things to get those big goals for the lodge and for the commandery or for the council or chapter, whatever you're involved with, how do we get those accomplished? And in a good form. So
more to grow on, more to coming up, more lessons in Masonry of leadership and principles.
Yes.
So there'll be more videos coming out about this, and we look forward to bringing them to you.
Yeah, so it's coming. So what do we say at the end of our videos?
Please like our video down below, and make sure you subscribe so you can wind up with many, many, many more opportunities to see our videos.
They're out there. They're out there.
Oh, they're very out there sometimes.
So we'll see you soon at the Museum of Masonic Culture. Thanks for joining us, and take care.
See you soon.